Battle stations. Battle stations. Man spotted, bearing 335, hot. Battle stations. Battle stations. Man spotted, bearing 335, hot.
Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to the studio. Welcome to Yellow vs Purple number 2. I'm sorry we've had a few technical issues, but it looks like we've resolved them now. So we are away. Yellow team and Purple team are launched. We can see the view from the two captains here. And I'm Thumblegudget, your host. I'm joined by my co-hosts Pointclerius and Kazzik, as last time. And we have a slightly different scenario this time. So who would like to give the rundown? Point, are you happy to start?
Well, I'll give a rundown of the general scenario. I'll use the whole map for this. General scenario, we're running a minimal start loadout, so both teams are going to be fairly low on the resources initially. You just get 4 seals. We've modified it a little, so they get a few more toys than just 4 seals, but their offensive firepower is not much. They don't have any aircraft initially. The map is once again a roughly balanced map, but with a twist. The 2 outer air chassis islands, which are Edgeley and Bacchus, have most of the blueprints, but not all of them. They do not have the most important one, that being the Manta blueprints, which can only be found in the central island. So, if you want that advantage, you're going to have to pay a lot of resources and a lot of time to get it. We've also left in the other two warehouse islands. Those are going to have a few goodies in them. See if any of the teams actually go pick those up, and it'll be a nice surprise for them down the line. Both teams are beginning their opening moves, and both teams have elected to go straight for their air chassis islands. accepting that longer time and more risky capture of a 2-shield.
Yes, it's worth saying at this point that I've put them in an interesting quandary. They're starting on a minimal start loadout, which means their entire offensive capability, apart from the carrier weapons, is for SEALs, which means that they're going to be doing a ground capture of the first island they come to. Now they have a choice. They can go one direction, go to a ground chassis island, which is going to be a 1-shielder, which is easier to take with 4 SEALs. However, the alternative is that they go for an air chassis island, which is a 2-shield, so a more difficult capture, but of course it gives them aircraft sooner. So it is a minimal start, but I've also given them some weapons that means that if they do get vehicle chassis, they can arm those vehicle chassis. So yeah, it should be an interesting match. It looks like they've both elected to go in an anti-clockwise direction this time.
Yeah, they'll be both chasing their tails instead of last match where both teams picked the same place to go to.
So I have also, in this map setup, been a little bit sneaky with them. So at least one team, I believe, has already noticed. So there is a 3rd air chassis island, which is in the centre of the map. That is a 4-shield. That one has the Manta blueprint. At the other airframe islands, the teams can only build the other 3 aircraft, basically the Razorbill, Petrel, or Albatross. So if they have those islands, then obviously airframes give them a lot more offensive capability, but not Mantas. So they've got a choice. They either go for a Manta chassis from taking the centre island, or they find a way to use the other 3 airframes offensively to go for the enemy carrier, or they do something entirely different again. There's a little curveball which the commanders haven't been briefed on, which is that there are the 2 warehouse islands. There's Magma and Bell Tempest, as you can see them at the moment, and those are warehouse islands. They can't make anything apart from gunfish, of course, needlefish, but they do contain some goodies, which the teams will find if they capture those islands. So we may get to witness that later in the game. On each of those islands, there are 4 Manta chassis and 2 bears, complete with battle cannons and shells. So quite a nice little prize for a 1-shielder. But the question is, will they think to go for those? So what's the team to watch at the moment? They've got a 2-shield capture to take on. And of course my co-host can also use the spectator mod that we're using here to jump into the camera view of hostile units on these islands, so we can give you a cannon fodder's eye view of the onslaught. Now both of these islands, I believe, have a needlefish. I don't actually see one at Bacchus.
I don't see any either.
Interesting. Or at least it's balanced, which is good news.
Changed since testing.
Okay, so we can look at the view from the 2 teams. So from the point of view of Team Purple, this is a Termi's eye view. Termi is our captain of Purple team. They are closing in on...
They had a slightly more favorable current. That's why they're there a little bit ahead of the yellow team.
Now we appear to have lost DGK's video feed, but I'm not going to pursue that. I'll deactivate that. But they are arriving at this island. They're starting to spot it. So what we can expect... of course, is, well, they'll start using the seals. The big danger if you're taking a 2-shield island is the 30mm armed seals. If you're using ground vehicles, they are quite lethal. So, what do you guys think?
Well, I got a missile away over at Bacchus.
Is that yellow team?
Purple.
Purple team. So they may well be using cruise missiles at this stage. Let's have a look in on yellow team. Yellow team are approaching Edgeley, so they're their approach is very much
I have a-
mirroring this.
I have a gun's eye view of yellow team approaching right now.
Gun's eye view. So this is a view from one of the AI turrets on the island.
Correct. It is way too far away. I'll release control before it gets in range.
So it's worth pointing out, of course, guys, that I'd like to welcome everybody in the chat, and yeah, you are absolutely welcome to ask us questions. I'll try and keep an eye on it, and I'll be answering any questions that you guys have. So first one is, how are they stocked for weaponry for the aircraft? So they have a minimal set of equipment. So they do have some missiles like AA missiles and so on. They have a limited supply of IR missiles. I have equipped them well with laser missiles though, of which once they've got aircraft they'll be able to use. My thought here, of course, is that IR missiles get used quite a bit, so it would be nice to see the other types of weapons used. They've also got 4 TV missiles to each team as well.
So Purple Team is beginning their deployment at Bacchus. They've done very limited like preparatory bombardment. They've just gone charged straight in. Single cruise missile took out a couple vehicles, and they're now engaging the ground forces in a gun duel.
I see a cruise missile out from Ashrin. Let's have a look. He's targeting the aircraft in the hangar. He's just targeting them at the moment. I don't see the missile out actually, although I do see some shots going in the hangar there. That would be Bred, of course, taking a pop at things. That's a view from the Denders. Here's Bred opening fire. Now, as I say, the thing to watch out for, they've only got 4 seals. So if they lose these vehicles, they are in trouble. They need at least 1 seal to deploy the virus bots. They do have the carrier weapons, but it's a captain's choice. Do you use the 160? They have, I believe, 40 160mm shells, and they have 8 cruise missiles. That's it for the carrier weapons. So, I'll say it's the 15mm being taken down here. Termi, they're moving up as well. Captain's view.
Termi's managed to take out one of the turrets on the island. They've just thrown another cruise missile in the direction of the hangar here. I'm not actually seeing any aircraft here.
Well, we do have a cruise missile launch from Team Yellow.
Okay, I'll switch over to Team Yellow now. So, Nexus just taking...
They're going after the units in the hangar that have not activated yet.
Well...
so I've got an interesting thing here, which might have to be a bug report to Bred. But the aircraft on the runway at Bacchus very much are active, and I'm getting a nice ground view of one of them taxiing to takeoff position. They're not showing on my map.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing at Edgeley. Okay, Team Yellow is now launching their ground vehicles. They're a little bit behind. That is somewhat understandable, I said, because of the current earlier. But
Tell me,
we'll see
taking
if
out
it
the
affects
aircraft.
things.
Purple has committed the cardinal sin of splitting their forces in a low shield engagement. One of their seals went after charge after the hangar, but it's ran into 2 bigger, meaner things.
Ooh, that is
having a bad day.
That is a bad. I think they're in some serious. They could run into trouble. Things could go okay, but they could run into trouble. Oh, that seal. Yeah, he's run into a 30mm.
They're losing that one.
Yeah.
This is a bad situation. But they do have carrier weapons to fall back on. Termi's eye view. He's just lost a seal. I hope they're going to use the carrier weapons. I see a cruise missile going there.
They have to be careful about using the carrier weapons, though, because they can hurt their own units if they're not precise.
Yeah, they're going to be that's some very danger close fire support. I think one of the seals has tried to take cover. Unfortunately, unknowing to them, they parked it right next to a turret. You can see them.
Is that a virus seal, or is it... No, it's just one under
Nope,
control.
all gun
but-
seals.
Well,
Oh, this could be... This isn't going very well at all.
if they lose those seals, they have lost the game.
Yeah. Very ineffective cruise missile there. No effect on target.
Yeah, that just missed everything. All right, Team Yellow has a pair of seals that have made landfall.
Bread
They have
is,
a third one waiting in the water, so I'm not sure what they're doing with their fourth seal.
Bread is exiting one of those seals, but this is quite...
Purple's made a right dog's dinner of this. One seal is on a sliver of health and is falling back. One seal's out of ammo, and it's cut off and surrounded on 3 sides.
Yellow has made contact with a couple of ground units. Right next to the hangar. They might be trying to clean up any surviving air units inside the hangar.
Let's take a look at Yellow Team. They appear, like, would hope that they're taking a more sensible approach. Nexus is doing logistics, which is I'll switch to see if I can switch to a Bobcat.
Huh. Those are some... Oh! That's why no one's getting shot at. You'll love this stumble. We've got to use a smoke here.
Oh, interesting.
They use smoke. They've deployed a smoke screen covering their forces as they fall back.
So this is something I didn't mention, that I equipped both carriers with a significant amount of smoke. They have 10 smoke launchers, I think, each, or 8 smoke launchers. Yeah, 8 smoke launchers per team. Yellow team,
has lost a seal.
Oh. The purple team has also lost a seal, but they are retreating. This is what we were saying about it being a high-risk strategy. It is dangerous to go for a 2-shield unless you really know what you're doing. The 1-shield,
Yeah,
of course, would have been a lot safer.
I think the mistake that they're making is not looking at the map, realizing that the other team couldn't possibly be a threat to them yet. So they should go completely weapons free on the cruise missiles and the 160
Oh, I
cannon.
think Yellow's about to lose a second seal. There it goes.
Yes, they did. They are down to 2 ground units.
Well, high risk. They both went for the high risk option. This
Yeah,
is,
I'm disappointed in the lack of fire support here. They've got
Well, they're
plenty of
preserving
carrier
carrier
fires
weapons.
ready to go, and they're just not using them.
as I say, 40 160s and 8 cruise missiles per team. They've got the capacity to... When Point and I practiced this yesterday, Point came in and he didn't lose a single vehicle taking the island. They just wiped the decks clean.
Yeah, just 160mm salvo after 160mm salvo. Just pretty easily. I probably didn't even need to use that much in the way of supports. I'm kind of confused. Thumble, could you tell me who's been launching the cruise missiles off Purple Team?
Well, we can take a look. I'm not sure. If it's Purple Team, it's probably Bread. Speaking of Bread, Bread's the person currently in the scope.
I think he may need a little bit of practice on these. I've seen quite a few not particularly effective strikes, should we say.
Well, perhaps it was my mistake planning this with... We have 2 fairly inexperienced captains here, so perhaps I should have gone for something more conventional. Well, it looks like both teams licking their wounds at this point.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much activity here. And back to the...
So, to clarify, both teams have 2 seals remaining.
Negative. Purple has 3.
Purple has 3. Okay.
Yep.
That was interesting how that reversed. So they've only... Okay, so they've lost 1 seal. That's not as bad as you would think. They can repair, they can regroup.
Yeah, that deployment of smoke is what saved their seals in the end. They put it in a pretty much perfect location to shield the retreating units.
Oh, that is absolutely excellent. So, sorry, for some reason I thought it was yellow team.
No, purple was the people with the shield, smoke.
Oh, it's so tempting.
Don't forget.
Go on, Kazzik.
Don't forget, you do have the air traffic screens been modified to show the current deployed units and losses. So you can see that yellow has 2 losses on seals and purple has 1. It's the red number underneath.
So it's an excellent addition we've had there from Bred, who wrote the spectator mod that we're using here. And we've got Captain's Eye view here as we're looking, and of course points looking at the map to see what's going on.
Another cruise missile coming from purple.
Let's see what you're looking at, Kazzik. Oh, you're in your operator screen.
And yeah, it's hooking around, so I think he's looking for a target.
Yeah, it'd be better to know what Bred's looking at currently, unless he's doing the weird...
What is Bred looking at? Bred appears to be... Ooh, interesting. He is doing a dance. He's... It appears that they've lost track of targets. Oh, a seal has appeared, which is bad for the seal.
Well, it is a strategy if you need to delay, like if your target, scattered and you're waiting for them to group up again.
And
if you want to delay, you can make it dance around for a little bit to just have it wait in a holding pattern.
I don't think either captain has realised that closing in with the carrier at this point in time is a fairly viable strategy. You've got quite a lot of health there, and you can just act as a meat shield for your units.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a feeling that losing a unit or 2 is really put them in a passive mode for a little while until they can build the confidence up by killing a few more units.
All the while, of course, seeing the available ordnance on the carrier diminishing. But they do have smoke.
Yellow is doing a really good job at their island taking. They've almost cleared the island. There's a few turrets left, but that's the last ground unit just got blown up there.
Okay, so yellow are doing better.
Purple's redeploying their assets, but they are not in a good shape.
That's a mistake. That is definitely a mistake sending them out with... I would. It takes a while for them to regain health, but there's far too many active units on that.
And also, they're not particularly in an advantageous position for their main gun, so...
But they do have smoke launchers.
They do have smoke. So they may... And these were the people using it earlier, so they may be using their smoke to cause some havoc. Well,
I just took a sneak peek at Yellow's virus seal that's approaching the command center. It has smoke.
It's excellent. So both teams have seen that they've got it. Oh, that's an observation camera seal.
It's
so
actually, it's not a virus seal. It's an observation camera.
They're trying to get eyes on the turret.
Strike.
That's going to be fun. Let's have a look.
That's actually pretty smart if they've got an observation camera, because they can just call in support. That's probably how they've been doing so well.
The AI has spotted them and is turning to shoot. Ooh, now 2 of them are shooting.
It's Sage who's in it. Let's see if we can get a view from Sage. This might be fairly
hearing
spectacular.
160. He managed to duck around behind a hill, and I could hear the other turret get destroyed. So
and Sage is just driving into a smoke screen. That's brilliant. Oh, it looks like it's Bob driving the seal and
Sage doing camera. Yeah, that makes sense because you've got the observation camera. Your W and S are going to be doing the zoom.
We've got a cruise missile coming in as well. This is absolutely excellent. It's great giving these teams different equipment and seeing what they do with it. Okay, they're playing Dancy Dancy with the missile. Let's take a quick look back to what's going on with Purple Team. Purple Team units are moving in.
I'm hoping someone popped some smoke. I'm going to jump into a unit to see if there is.
There's definitely smoke. Bread is in a big cloud of it at the moment, as we can see from everything being...
The gun has reacquired the observation seal and is shooting at it. It sounds like the cruise missile missed. They deployed more smoke to get away.
Purple's really messed this up.
I don't know, Thumble. Giving them this much smoke, you're going to create a bunch more smokers.
Well, it's a filthy habit.
Is that really your legacy you want?
Well, what's going on Purple Island Point?
It's all gone south very, very quickly.
Oh, I don't know. The
Yellow's
smoke, though,
completely
and
clear.
the virus bots are still...
Smoke cleared, and the center has been swarmed by virus bots.
Well, the virus
ground
bots
assets.
still very much in existence.
They've popped more smoke south, and they're using it to try and shield some of their retreating seals.
Well, the question is whether the virus bots will stay concealed. The trouble is, there's a...
Well, the units,
if
I
the
actually
smoke
think...
holds, they might get away with it.
Looks like that it will.
Yeah, it looks
They must
like,
be in a very good spot.
all those units have rushed the command center, but they've put it in such a place that they can't find it. They've kind of put the virus bots in a little gully.
Well,
Purple's bringing Unit 214 back, possibly for distraction.
I'm not sure that's intentional.
well,
Oh,
it's taking
they deployed
fire.
more smoke.
Yeah,
More smoke.
more smoke will do it. Smoke.
They're still taking a bit of damage, though.
Oh, they want to get that vehicle out of there. But I think they're going to get the island, which, if we look at both teams, Yellow Team
Yellow's
has now
got
just
the virus
deployed.
spot on the way.
Yellow Team have cleared the island. Their virus seals heading in. So,
I believe Purple has the island.
and of course, with both teams have. Yep, that is a capture for Purple Team. So that's. I was going to say good job, but well, I think they pulled it together at the end. But they've lost half their ground units, assuming that this one manages to make it to safety.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect that they're going to be looking at ground chassis next.
Quite possibly. I'm going to jump in with Team 2 and have a word with them.
Missiles, lasers, and light bombs that we can put on a razor bill.
Hello, guys.
So,
Yeah,
but the
that's
razor bill
awesome.
also has the little gun thing. So,
Hello, guys.
okay.
How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
That got quite intense, and hope
That
you
was a
managed
bit
to get that
uphill.
vehicle out.
Yeah, that was really intense.
We didn't see what happened to us.
That's really good use of smoke as well. We've been enjoying watching that.
Yeah, it was close call, and the virus bot is still alive. Which I don't know why.
Well,
I think it fell down a kind of gap, and they haven't seen it.
that's a superb job. So we're going to keep watching, obviously. But any idea what you're going to do next?
Yeah, we have lots of ideas. We want to capture Odrosir next, and then Bordland.
Roger that.
If you give me a course for Odrosir, then I'll get us there as soon as we pick up the bots.
Yep, Odrosir will be course 288. I will set you a waypoint.
Okay, great.
Copy that, boss.
Best of luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, commentators, they've took the island. They can have aircraft now. And it looks like they've been able to extract. Yeah, they've been able to extract they've got 2 seals.
You were talking to Purple Team, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, mention Purple Team, not Team 2, because Team 2 to us is the orange guys, because of the way the map works.
Okay. Yeah. Purple Team. Okay. I will. Let's have a look at see how Yellow Team are doing. They've got their virus pod out, so it's pretty much guaranteed capture. Let's jump in and have a chat with them. The for the sake of just to keep my commentators informed, they were planning on heading west next, so they're going for heavy munitions. Very much not for ground vehicles. So
Yeah, I roughly know what their plan is.
excellent. Okay, well let's jump in with Yellow Team and see how we're doing. Okay, hello Yellow Team, how are you doing?
That's a bit of a nasty start you've given us.
Well, it's not too bad. We had some
Yeah.
setbacks, but then we went in with a dumbass strategy and went pretty well.
Yeah, we decided to gamble on pushing for airframes rather than going for Dionysus and get ourselves some more ground chassis.
It seems
So
to have paid
hopefully
off.
hopefully, we shall see if that gives us momentum.
Smoke!
Honestly, watching you guys driving that vehicle around 2 up with smoke going everywhere, and then that really impressive barrage coming in. That's some of the best footage I've seen in quite a while.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I forget you can see everything.
I need to ask whoever's closest to the island to nudge this seal. I've managed to Austin Powers it.
Oh, great. Well, best of luck with that, and yeah, we will.
Let me see if I can't get it moving. Let me see it. Next.
Yeah, so they've managed to Austin Powers the seal. I think they've got it out now. So we've got both teams now with somebody who can't. We've got 5 members per team, but we've lost the video feed from player 5 on both teams, unfortunately. But doesn't matter. We've got captain's eye view. That's the most important one. So where are we looking next?
I wonder, there's still 9 units left on Bacchus for Team Purple that they just took. I wonder if losing that bounty on making those kills is going to affect them economically in such a way that Team Yellow might get an advantage for having an extra unit.
They could build a turret, of course, and that would whittle them down. Although,
but that's at least 1,000 credits, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's no economic value there.
Well, I mean, if you want the turret on your airframe island, which probably is a good idea, you're better off building it sooner rather than later. But like 9 units, if you build one and it gets surrounded, you could lose it.
Well, currently, it's a bit too early for that to matter all that much, I'd say. Either way, like our economics, if we can use our carrier's baseline to see how much they should roughly be at. No, it's really not much.
We can't because we're not earning any income.
Oh yeah, we're not earning any.
So the island count is the same for each. So they're getting the same passive income right now. Granted,
Yeah.
Purple did possibly get an extra minute's worth from that first island capture. But my point is you get credits for blowing things up. And I wonder if those 9 units is going to affect them a little bit.
I think in the long term, I don't think it's going to matter too much.
A gun
Because
bill away
at this
from
point in time,
a
I think
purple
both
team.
sides will have enough for at least a razor bill, which is going to be the most important factor going forward.
So they're razor billing the remaining units on the island by the looks of it.
Well, that answers that question.
And Termi's jumped in to do that. Yellow team, I noticed, have just built, they're building a Petrel and an Albatross. So different strategies.
No razor bill there. I'd expect one if they're going for island captures.
You can use a petrol for that.
You can. Razor bill's not nicer to fly though.
I would disagree with you there, but then I guess I am Mr. Petrol, so... Well, that's the end of that chapter. Just those units over there.
Oh, that is actually pretty cool.
So let's have a look at the chat. So, what have we got? Can we hear more about the backgrounds of the captains and the crew? So I'll have you do that in a moment. Point.
All right.
Which is good because Mrs. Thumble has just put a bacon sandwich next to me, and I can mute my microphone whilst you tell us. Abestia has said this is really interesting. I think it's a good, challenging start. Definitely a lack of coordination within both teams. Well, you say that, but it's not an easy thing doing a ground assault. We've done it a lot on our PvE series, but then in GRNO we've developed quite a skill for it. But it's quite a thing to throw at a new captain when you've not really done this before. You get used to just gun billing an island.
Right, or you're also not used to working closely with specific people that are possibly in your team for the first time.
Yeah, so this is new captains, new team, and it's something that we can do, but it's never ever really practiced, is ground assaults.
So, and I've got a question, what's the resource in Odyssey? I believe it's a barge island, but it's a one shield, and with a gun bill, that's no trouble at all.
It is a barge island.
Barge island.
Yeah.
Speaking of gun bill, it's already on the way over there.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Point, and you can tell us about the two captains, who are both, I believe, Delta Fleet captains.
Yep, both for Delta Fleet this week. So, very quickly, there's two PvP teams, major ones. So we'll have GRNO, which is the channel you're on, who are graciously hosting us here. And there is Delta Fleet, which is a much larger organization, but we have a varied cast between games. The current two captains for tonight, leading yellow team, is a captain by the name of Nexus. This is his first actual PvP game, as far as I'm aware, being in charge of a crew. He's been known to be a good pilot. The reason why he is a captain is because I recommended him after a previous event, which happened last weekend. He's good pilot. I'd say he's a pretty good people person and coordinator, and he's got a few interesting ideas, and he's certainly skilled, but he's more of an unknown. We don't really know how he'll fill the command role. On the other hand, we have Termi. Termi is the captain of Purple Team. Termi is also another member of Delta Fleet. He's more of the regulars. He's in every other game, or every game he can get to, for the more trickies tournaments. So he's an experienced player. Also hasn't got that much in the way of command, though. He's had a little bit more practice in friendly games, and he's been captain at least 2 trickies tournaments now. He has a victory in a trickies tournament when he was captain. So he's a bit more experienced. Certainly not up there with the major players, but he's getting there. In terms of command styles and strategies, Nexus, I don't have any information. This is his first game. I could not tell you what his strategy is. It's, I'd say, something a little bit more thought out and not as aggressive, mainly just because he's inexperienced. Termi's command style and play style isn't as aggressive. It's a little bit more thought out, a little bit more reserved. He's not going to go charging straight into a fight if he can avoid it for the most part. He's gonna plan, he's gonna do his resources, and then he's gonna go to try and deal with you. In terms of the crews, it's a real motley mix this week. Lots of GRNO, lots of new people, and a couple members of Delta Fleet.
Ooh, it looks like they lost their razor. Nope, it just disappeared off the screen for a second.
Oh, was that yellow or purple?
Purple. I haven't seen an aircraft from yellow yet.
Purple's still fine. It's just finished clearing out.
Yellow are building a petrol. I'm just thinking about their strategy, and I think if they take a barge island, it's entirely feasible for them to take a seal and a petrol and go and take a ground units island.
Yeah.
Now, which one they choose to go is to go for would be an interesting choice, but petrol there is building. But honestly, I mean, if I would be happy launching that petrol now. 50mm guns don't really hurt petrols at all, and you could easily clear that island. But yeah, I would be thinking about getting myself a ground units island with that petrol, because you can go. Rule of thumb, as I put it, is you can go 2 islands away and take a ground units island and come back. However, if you're able to build more petrols, which they are, and if you don't mind leaving the autocannons there, you can do a land away. You can take the petrol, so they can fly right round, as you're looking at there, around the left side, fly all the way up and go and take that ground units island with the petrol. And of course, with the barges that they're about to get hold of, that would make it possible for them to replenish without having to take the carrier up there.
Yeah.
Well, Team Yellow is doing the same thing. They're going after a barge island next. It's possibly just because it's a one shielder on the way to the thing they want.
I think both teams are going after these barge islands, not necessarily out of a logistical concern, but more over it's a free island at this point, and economics money is money early game. You really need as much as you can get so you can start get that airframe production going.
Yeah, I would say with the equipment that I've started them out with, the ground units island would be very valuable to both teams, and they're both within easy petrol range.
But this is also
Purple
the other
team
point.
could also get a petrol down there, down to Socrates, and take the ground units island. They've got additional 30mm turrets. They've got IR missile turrets. They've got Sea-Wiz turrets. They've also, if they get walruses or bears, they've also got heavy cannons on the carriers.
The first thing that Team Yellow launched was a virus seal.
Interesting.
Aircraft up at Team Yellow.
Let's have a look at Team Yellow.
Ah, it is now. They got it half built.
Got Sage flying it. You can jump into Sage cam.
Just a thing, you say you would talk about taking vehicle islands and stuff like that. You are the person that is most likely to do that, Thumble, and these are not that experienced captains. It's an unfamiliar environment. Not many of them would have the thought and foresight to go after a vehicle chassis island straight away. And does it necessarily matter currently now that they have some kind of airframe?
Well, it might not. I mean, you may only ever need the one virus seal, but there are a lot of options that ground vehicles provide to you, including carrier killing options.
Indeed.
But the other thing worth mentioning as well, the yellow team has Cylindrical Bobcat, who is normally our captain for Grim Reaper's Naval Ops. He's a very experienced player. I know he likes playing as an operator because he doesn't get to do it very often. So I'm sure he'll be enjoying himself, but he will be able to offer advice to his captain. And similarly, if we look at Purple Team has Bredroll, who appears to have gone AFK by the looks of it. He's done what he usually does when he goes AFK. But again, he's another very experienced. He's an extremely good operator to have on your team, actually. The previous YVP was won by the team who had Bred to fire their ship's gun. He's very good at being in the right place at the right time, and he also has a lot of experience to draw on. So these are resources for either captain to pull on. And Purple Team are capturing Odrasir.
Yep. Just a note on the crews. In terms of Delta Fleet participants this week, Yellow Team has Sage, who is a well-known, pretty good captain and especially second in command, as long as being one of the better operators and TV missileers that we have. Purple Team has Ludendus, who I'm not sure if he's being put in the logistics role this week. He's been wanting to get out of that, but if he is in the logistics role, he's very good at that.
He appears to be in the logistics role. And they're ordering gun bills currently.
I believe, due to the carrier waypoints, I think Purple Team is going to be going after Bell Tempest followed by Bardland. I think they're going to skip around the 3 shield that is Beacon for now, which makes sense.
So they're going to discover what's in the warehouse.
Ooh.
So of course, as we said earlier on, in the warehouse you will find they will find 4 mantas, and they will also find 2 bears. So that will be very interesting. So again, neither team electing. Well, I think they'll be out of range by the time they head north to send a petrol, unless they're willing to lose it to go for a ground vehicle island. However,
they could take the one that's closer to the other team.
They could, yeah. Yellow team appears to be doing they've got an Albatross up doing ISR, and they appear to have cleared Naiades.
It is clear.
So Yellow team very much behind at this point. But interesting question, from the carrier waypoints point, have they just changed?
They have just changed, Purple.
be interesting to see if they do actually bother going for the warehouse island.
I think they're probably in the middle of a debate about it, because going up to Bell Tempest is quite a trek, and if I check the currents for us, it's not too bad. You're not really heading too much against the currents at this moment in time. That may change. So, but it's still quite a ways away, and they don't even. And if you're following the normal game's level of how it works, you would expect to have the same supplies in those warehouses as you would have in your warehouse. So that may be a factor against why they're not going for it. They may think it's just like their warehouses and contains some supplies, but not necessarily the most useful things in the world.
I have a question in chat. What's in the warehouse? Oh, we've had a thumbs up, so I've already told them. So, yeah, what the captains don't know is it's a lucky dip, which I think I'll be doing in future YVPs. That there'll be something in the warehouse island, but I was asking Point what would be the CC2 equivalent of a lemon. You open a big warehouse and there's just a lemon on the floor waiting for you.
A bunch of virus bots.
Yes, Bread suggested it would be 5,000 virus bots.
I said 20,000 rounds of 20 mil.
So, no, that's actually valuable in a minimal start.
Nothing to fight with.
Something you could consider, Thumble. It doesn't have to be a warehouse. You can put things like at the barge island. It's like, well, okay, the barge island isn't important. Oh, really? It's got 2 mantas. You know, like that is a possibility of something you can do.
The only problem with that is that it won't show you that there are mantas there.
Well, you'll see it on the screen when it says you have 2 mantas somewhere in your supply chain.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering when they'd start moving that Albatross along. It's not particularly low on fuel, so you might as well keep it up and keep it doing something.
So they're definitely doing ISR on that island. So it looks like they are going to that warehouse island next.
I have a question.
A big cluster of units on there too. That's a heck of an opportunity for a cruise missile if they're seeing that.
I got a question. What is the S on the top right of the RWR? Because that's new.
That would be a question for Brett. I noticed it appeared as well, and
does anyone know? Because that change has been made in the past 2 days.
It's a secret letter that communicates to Bread and Bread only where the enemy carrier is.
You can tell by the number of pixels to the left and right where the coordinates are.
Oh, we appear to have somebody. Tommy appears to be watching YouTube, which is an interesting one.
Have you reminded him that he is streaming?
Tommy, why are you watching YouTube?
Who goes there?
I'm doing some research.
Roger, you're doing research. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
okay, we got 3
Starfish
minutes.
303 has.
well, Tommy says he's doing research, which is an interesting time for a captain to be doing research.
I'm sure that instills a lot of confidence in his crewmen. I need to go AFK for a minute.
Roger that, Kazzik. Okay, so we have... Last game, both teams went in opposing directions and we had a collision in the centre. In this game, we appear to have very much the teams circling each other, which means things are going to be interesting. One feature of this map that's a bit different to normal ones is that there are routes through the centre. There's some 2-shielders in the middle instead of it all being 3-shielders. So I actually dialed down the severity of the islands on this map, apart from Charissa, of course, because I was aware that we were doing effectively a minimal start.
Avernus, the Avernus Gap, as I'm going to call it from now on. I hope we get to see a little bit of action later in the game. That's a 2-shield. If there's no ships around it, that's pretty much perfectly safe to overfly, and that will cut you nicely between Charissa and Elwood.
So we have an interesting situation here where yellow team are going to end up with 4 mantas and very little to arm them with. Whereas purple team will get to the heavy munitions island first, so they will have some serious firepower. But the question will be what's there.
So I've just checked the current map. I'm going to put it up on the holo map.
Yep.
Yellow team is currently sailing directly into a current. I would be cutting east at this point in time to be in the lee of magma and US.
Yeah, you want to be in the shallow water if you can bring up the shallows.
Oh, the shallows as well, yeah.
Yeah, just so that we can see because
oh wait, that's the cartograph. It's depth. Where's depth?
Depth, almost the far right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so staying in the shallows directly between Naiades and magma. It's interesting that they've gone for ISR, but they don't appear to have committed anything to taking the island yet. Oh, they are steaming into the current though, so they are closing.
Yeah, so they're steaming. They're not in the shadows, so shallows. So operating aircraft is a bit difficult. And the other thing is they're kind of they were, but not anymore because the current is shifting. They were heading directly against the current, which is going to slow them down significantly. If I was in that Nexus's shoes, I'd be a little bit more east of here and trying to cut across the face of the current more towards magma.
Yeah, agreed on that. Purple team now approaching Bardland, so let's have a look at what's going on with purple team. They're very good at synchronizing their island captures, aren't they? So
yeah,
we have to watch both of them in tandem.
I mean, it does show that both teams are about the same experience level and have the same kind of general principles because they're hitting their islands at about the same time, just on opposite ends of the map. Raise a bill up at Bardland.
The thing that will gun bill going out. So the thing that will make the difference, of course, is when do you switch from PvE to PvP, and that's the decision that every commander has to make. When do you feel that you can go aggressive? If you're Point Clearius, that's 10 seconds ago, usually. But other captains tend to leave it longer. So,
sail me closer, I wish to engage them in a gun duel.
Yeah, I want to hit them with my sword. But yellow team are closing in, so presumably they'll be using their petrol to clear magma. I wonder though, they've got a barge with them, so they might have new air units available.
I'm enjoying a sight which I don't often get to see in Carrier Command, which is on the receiving end of the gun door. Who's flying that gun bill currently on purple team? Bumble?
On purple team, it is Termi flying the gun bill.
Now that is slightly concerning for me because as a captain, if you have operators that can fly those missions, and he definitely does, you should not be taking those missions. You should be sitting there thinking of your strategic plans and getting other things ready rather than controlling the vehicle.
Yeah, indeed. He does have Ludendus operating the chin gun for him, and Asherin is spotting. Bred is not. Looks like he's still AFK, which is a handicap.
Which team's DJK on again? Is he on purple or yellow?
Good question, because he is on purple, so he's the fifth player that we can't see.
Yeah, DJK he's not a PvP player, but he's a very experienced PvE player.
Okay, we have a message for hosts. In fact, who was that? That was Nexus, wasn't it?
Nexus.
Okay, I will jump in his channel and... Nexus, you say you had a message?
Yeah, our barges are not unloading.
Barge not unloading.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
We had some.
You must have been able to unload it before because you've got your air units on.
We got
did
a
briefly.
We've got a petrol and our albatross off, but the second petrol and subsequent albatrosses are stuck. It's just sitting idle, even though it's going. So, I think it's where you've modified it to give the no carrier delivery order. Actually.
That's...
It's if I send it to the carrier.
Okay, does it have any inventory on board?
Yeah.
That's...
Bunch of aircraft.
That's really weird.
And we do have stock ordered, so that's not the issue.
Yeah. Brett appears to be AFK at the moment, otherwise I would ask him what's up, but is it a problem with both barges?
No, we haven't tested it with...
We're testing it
Yeah.
now with the second one.
That's very weird. I'll ask the other team, see if they have any trouble, but I mean, we can always try and save the game and reload. I don't know if that will fix it, but we could always give that a try if we can't sort it out in the next few minutes. I'll ask the other team, see if they're having any trouble.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, Purple
Hello.
Team. Just a quick question for you guys. Are you having any trouble unloading barges?
I
Only
don't
seem
think
to be
so, other
working
than
for
this.
us.
no.
The Purple Team appear to be having trouble unloading their barge. So, not quite sure what to do with it. The only thing I can think of, if we can't resolve it quickly, we might have to try saving the game and reloading. So we'd call a pause on that. But
That would be. Yeah, we'd be on board with that.
okay, I'll
It's
let you
only
guys
fair.
know if we have to do that. That'd be very annoying if we
Okay.
did.
No, don't send the virus bot just yet.
Okay, I won't just cut things out on you. I will give you guys a warning to disengage and
Okay.
if we say.
yeah.
But if that's
Okay,
Yeah,
then
we're
just-
not engaging, but we have sealed traveling to the command center.
Okay. Well, carry on as normal until I'll give you a minute or so's warning. Okay, yellow team, how you doing? Any luck?
It's gonna take a while for the buyers to get here.
Any similar issues reported from Team 4?
So,
It's actually empty. It's redirected back to the
viewers, this is quite a frustrating situation. The only thing I can think to do is
Box 2.
is to save the game, reload, and see if that fixes the issue. So we may have to go for a short intermission.
Splash 1 petrol.
Co-host, what do you guys think?
Barge issue?
Barge issue, yeah.
A way to fix it or tactical?
What have they
calls?
tried?
Yeah, so they say that they've tried unloading. They've definitely got the waypoint. They've definitely got the things ordered. The barge is next to the carrier. It's just not unloading.
Have they tried reissuing an order to, like, say, the airframe island, then canceling it and putting it back to the carrier? In other words, try, closing and reopening the window.
Do you want to jump in there, chat, and
Sure,
have-
I'll give
okay.
him some advice.
I'll jump in. Oh, that's probably create nasty echoes in the stream. If we have to, then we will just.
Hey guys, this is Kazzik. Just join in to see if I can give you maybe something you could try to get your barge issue fixed.
We won't
Try
work here because-
sending a waypoint from that barge to, like, open ocean or an island that you control that has, the ability to pick something up, and then cancel that and send it back to the carrier.
It's all very frustrating. So what's going on? Yellow team's still pressing on. They've dropped a virus seal using the petrol, which is good news for
Have
them.
you tried manually driving the barge closer? Just okay. Yeah, it's about all I can think of. All right, I think we're going to try the safe game trick.
Tactical pause.
Looks like that. Okay, we're going to go for a tactical pause. Okay, yellow team, this is a 60-second warning. I'm going to save the game and then we'll reload. So,
Actually suggest doing it by type. Yeah, there you go. Points got it.
okay, purple team, this is a 60-second warning. I'm going to
Okay.
save the game and then we'll
Everyone
reload.
get ready to save then.
Okay, and those of you guys who are watching, I'm going to put the standby video on, so we will be back with you very shortly. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, you should be on now. So we're live on the stream. We're just basically we've got to figure out what we're going to do because we've got a problem here that both teams can't unload their barge, which means that this game isn't going anywhere. We've got it saved, but it's not going anywhere at the moment. You guys should, yeah, I think I'll go to the settings right, so the people watching the stream will be able to hear what we're saying. So the question we've got to answer basically is what we're going to do now. Now, I don't know if it's a problem with the map or whether it's a problem with the mod, and unfortunately Bred isn't with us to help us untangle it, and of course we're also live on YouTube. So got a couple of options. One of them is I can try restarting the game, but I don't think that that's going to fix it. If it's a problem with the map anyway. The other option that we've got is, which Pointer suggested, is we could load the other YVP map and start again. Now you guys are both doing very well, but
the other YVP map is much more fast paced. Well, not much more fast paced, but it's not a minimal loadout start. So you'll get into the action a bit quicker, and we can try and salvage something out of this game.
I see.
So is this the one from last time?
Yes,
it'll be the map we played last time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, let's give it a go. And if we have the barge problem again, then we'll have to call the event off and see. It would be interesting to figure out whether it's a problem with the map, with my map editing, or whether it's a problem with Bred's mod. But it's not working at the moment. So what? If you guys happy to do that then?
Yeah, I'm absolutely good with that.
Yes, but I know some of our teams are time bound as well. So
yeah, also Bredroll is AFK and he's not coming back.
Recommend, just as a suggestion while we're here, would it be possible to substitute some other players for the timed out members?
I was going to say, as the map isn't an issue, we could always see if Trench wants to jump in.
Trench, and someone maybe throw a message at anyone in the reserves.
Yeah,
Trench
there
is the
is
reserves
yellow in our reserves.
No, there's one more.
There's yellow and someone else, I think.
Let's get Trench on. Would that bring you back up to full 5 players?
Yep, that will be.
I think Nexus needs that more than Termi, because Nexus is going to lose one definitively, I believe.
Yeah, Beaver is definitely leaving at some point. He's got a time bound, and I don't know about some of the others. And I know I probably can't stay much past 11:30, which is going to make things a bit tight. But
I mean, we could just call the event off. I mean, I prefer not to, but it's...
Yeah, I also have limited time.
Okay. In that case, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say let's call the stream off and we'll figure out what happened.
Okay.
Did you want to just try restarting the game on the server? Was that what we tried already?
I've tried restarting it on the server. I'll try rebooting the game. See if that makes a difference.
Yeah, give it a go, and then if that doesn't work, then call it there.
Okay.
Okay. We'll have a go at that. So yeah, stand by. I'll load it from where you were, so it doesn't matter what's going on. But yeah, we'll do that. And those of you who are watching, yeah, we're going to go to.
I'll jump back to my team and advise.
Stand by.
Okay. See ya.
Okay, let's go and give it another go. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I think we might have solved the problem. So let's give it a go. See how we're doing. So we think that the problem was an integer underflow problem with the weight of the carrier, which may have been a result of the save editing. But basically, I went into the save and found that the carrier weight was 140 million thousand billion tons, which means that the barge wouldn't unload because you're overweight. So, fingers crossed. Huh. I don't know, but fingers crossed we've got the game back. So, yeah, let's hope. What I did was I copied the mass of carrier 1 to, well, inventory mass of carrier 1 to carriers 2 and 4. Don't know if that will mean the same problem will occur again, but seems to be working for the moment, so let's go with it. Right. Okay, the one who didn't have a video. Okay. Well, sorry to Trench, but he's seen the map. He knows what's going on, so he's also heard things. It's true. So I'll be happy to have him as a co-commentator in a future game. Or we've been talking about the possibility of having what we call Zeus players, who are players who can jump in and fly the AI unit. So either is likely next time, Trench. But at least those of you who are watching the live stream back can skip into the future and not develop an aversion to that wonderful tune that's been playing during the intermission. But at least we're back to the game now. So yes, we definitely can. So we're getting commentary from the Kazzik cats, who are part of our commentary team, which is ever growing at this stage. Okay, let's remind ourselves what was going on. We have two teams performing identical circles of the map. Looks like purple team have just captured a heavy munitions island. How do you mean? Oh, they have discovered that they have mantas now. Right, I'm going to go and have a chat. I'm not going to. They can find it out the old-fashioned way. I'm going to go and have a quick chat with with the other team. The other team, hello. I see you've discovered my little curveball.
Yes, we like the present.
Thanks, Thumble. We love you, Thumble. Also, I had a question before the game started. Are we going to see any of your petrols loitered about? Or littered about?
No, you won't see any blue units at all.
A7 should go up as soon as...
More of a joke, but yeah.
But I will have to jump in on you with a petrol at some point.
Can you land a petrol in the water and have it live?
Under certain circumstances.
Okay. Can you put Easter eggs in so you got a Thumble petrol somewhere?
I will be working on it if I haven't already. Anyway, you guys have a good game and enjoy the present.
Thanks, Thumble.
Thank you.
Yep, got lots and lots of thanks from Sage in particular that he's got some mantas now. That is going to make the game more interesting / faster. Well, the question is, what is Purple Team up to? It looks like we've lost Extreme Beaver. So I'll... Just looking at your feed, Kazzik. Just seeing what... A point has also jumped in it, so that's no good. Okay. It looks like Yellow Team are proceeding on to Duessa to get some heavy munitions. That's an interesting question. They've got bread back though, so that's good news. Ah, I've just realised that. Let me in. So I just realised that I've had you guys muted for the last couple of minutes since we were in the Discord chat. So, and Termi has just timed out on the server. So
mine just crashed completely.
Great. All right, it looks like we're back on hold. Stand by. Okay guys, this is Thumble here. We've tried to get it working again. The game just crashed on the server, which means everybody's been booted out. It looks like we're going to have to call this game to an end, which is a shame because it was going really quite well. Had a lot of fun, but yeah, there's obviously something gone wrong with the save edit, which I used to set up the map, which is very frustrating. So we're going to have to figure out what's going on, but I'm going to talk to everybody. What we might do a little bit of PvE for an hour or so, in which case I will see if I can stream that to YouTube for those of you who want to join us. So that's the end of PvE number 2, and I'm going to have to call it a draw at this point because there wasn't a clear advantage to anybody. So thank you to everybody for watching. We will see what we can do about fixing this in the future, but yeah, it's a frustrating end to this this episode, but yeah, I'm going to end the live stream there. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you hopefully in the next one where things won't go so badly. So yeah, so this is Thumblegudget, sadly, signing off.
Battle stations. Battle stations. Man is spotted, bearing 335, hot.
Oh, one other thing, there is some talk of us doing a PvE stream, so if you stay tuned on the YouTube channel, you might catch us in a minute or two once I've set that up. So speak to you, maybe see you guys in a bit.